right, I'm live on air, and we're back on KUTV Rise today. Beer Shara Tuesday. Thank you very much for staying tuned to this show from the beginning. It's 9:45 in the morning. Conversations are still hot here, and all of you guys who are interacting online are making me happy. I see Batman from Juja watching the show. I see Omondi Lennox Otieno, who's the CEO and founder of Ecobana Limited. The winners of HALT Prize 2022, and also working with the Ministry of Health by directives of the President to provide affordable sanitary pads to students all across the country. And sustainability is a very key factor in that conversation of Ecobana, and it's also what we are going to be having here this time round. At this point, I'm going to be introducing to you Akoth Otieno, who is the founder of Olisa Kenya, going to understand how sustainability also comes into her business. But for the guys who are interacting with me online, can't read all of your comments right now, but stick with us. I'll be reading them right after this conversation. So if you go online, be typing Olisa Kenya, and on Instagram especially, where she's showcasing the work that she's doing. It's a crochet knitwear brand for the woman who dares to wear her value on her sleeves. Crochet was named by Harper's Bazaar as one of the top 12 out of standout trends of the spring 2020 runway. Specifically, it was introduced as Not Your Grandmother's Crochet. We'll get to know how Not Your Grandmother's looks like, but here is Akoth Otieno, looking lovely in her own work, and just a few weeks after going to the Lagos Fashion Week, we're going to know how it felt like for you in Lagos. I hope I don't offend anyone from that side of the that side of the continent, but I hope you're under, light 24/7 and all of that, if you know what I'm talking about. But this is not about that. It's about your work at Olisa Kenya. So do people mostly refer to you as Olisa or as Akoth?
At this point, I think it's Olisa, but my name is Akoth Otieno.
Which one do you like to go with?
Akoth is.
Akoth.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Olisa is the brand.
Yeah, Olisa is the brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Akoth Otieno, CEO and founder. Who are you wearing?
I am wearing Olisa. Thank you very much.
Good for you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be wearing your own work?
It's always an interesting car because I love what I make, and it's empowering in a sense as well. So there's always that aspect too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Your Grandmother's. Is it crochet? It's crochet, right?
Yeah, it's crochet.
It's crochet.
Yes.
Okay. Not Your Grandmother's Crochet.
Yeah.
How's that different from my grandmother's?
I think the idea normally is the design angle and the contemporary aspect that it comes. We all grew up in households where our mothers used to knit or crochet, and we all had these vitambas that used to be put on seats or couches. So ideally, when someone talks about Not Your Grandmother, we imagine we make the vitambas, so to speak, and just your regular knit sweaters. But there's more to it, is the point. Yeah. All
right. You were in Lagos Fashion Week. How was that, and how did you get to go there in the first place? Because we don't get to see a lot of Kenyan creatives in the fashion space getting access to some of these events. We saw your work being displayed there on the runway. It was exciting to, of course, support virtually. But how did it feel for you being on the ground and seeing it on such a platform?
It was quite an enlightening experience just by itself. But Olisa Kenya is mostly driven by craftsmanship and sustainability. So how we got to Lagos Fashion Week, they have a program called the Green Access Program. So what happens is they tend to empower up-and-coming designers who are within the sustainability space. So we are talking about ethical fashion and the idea of educating your clients around what does sustainability look like, what are some of these ethical practices. So we got into the Lagos Fashion Week through that program. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a commendable work.
Thank you.
Really happy for you.
Yeah.
Do you do this yourself, or do you have creatives that you work with that do the knitting themselves, or is this something you wake up to do every single day?
Of course, it's a business. I have to do it every single day. But ideally, initially when I started out, and that was sometime in 2017, I used to do it myself. But then as the brand progressed, I now work with around 7 to 8 people. So what happens is we design, and since it's a purely handmade brand, that means these people, and I work with women at a refugee camp. It's called Rhino Camp in northern Uganda. So those are the people I work with. So it's a brand, a community brand, so to speak.
Right.
It is bigger than just Akoth at this point.
Right. Being a community brand, of course, you get also to work with other creatives. And I was saying here before we came on that I'm a very big activist for the rights of creatives.
Yeah.
I see models, I see photographers, I see probably people you get to think about the designs with.
Yeah.
How is it like working with those people in the fashion space?
I think it has been one of the biggest blessings by far, being part of the creative industry and just the community that comes with it. Because Olisa is mostly, we believe in collaboration, be it at a community level, be it at an industry level. So what happens is most of the models we work with are obviously Kenyan, most of the photographers we work with are obviously also from around, and it's been interesting because we get to learn from each other, and then and I believe that's one of the ways that we can build a sustainable fashion industry, especially in Kenya right now. But the reception has been good, and that we get to work with other really, really brilliant artists and designers and models. It's a good space to be at, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that Olisa Kenya is, a brand for a woman. Let me just read it. For the woman who dares to wear her value on her sleeve.
Yes.
Maybe tell us what that means exactly.
So,
how to wear value on the sleeve, and also, what about the man who wants to wear his value also? Where should he wear it?
So ideally, when I talk about values, when I'm referring to, at the most basic level, the Olisa woman is a woman who cares about who makes my dress, who makes my sweater, and what are the processes behind the sweater. Are they paid enough, whoever is making that sweater? And what environment is it the sweater being made around? So there's that, the idea of ethical practices, and the Olisa woman caring about those. But then on the other side, we all love a good dress. You wear the right thing and your confidence level obviously just shoots up. So as a value-driven here could also mean that I believe in embracing my own power as a value. I believe in confidence as a value. So you are not afraid to try out new stuff because at the heart of it, it's innate for you. So the idea of being an Olisa woman is wearing that dress and the best parts of you automatically jump out. Yeah.
All right. And the man?
So yeah, I've gotten this a lot. And our next collection, surprise, has some male items coming up. So yeah. It is going to be, it's been an interesting process of defining the Olisa man and ideally who the Olisa male muse would look like. So it's exciting, and I can't wait to show the world what that looks like next year.
Right.
Yeah.
The Olisa man.
Yes.
That could be interpreted in very many other ways, but we're going to stick with the man who's wearing the Olisa brand.
Yes.
All right. Do you have organizations that you work with?
Technically, from a production processes level, we work with 2 women groups right now. So that has been also quite instrumental in how we function and the processes behind the background. But on a networking level, I think the beautiful thing that 2022 has been was us being part of organizations like, we were part of Creative DNA, which was earlier this year was an incubator of sorts. That empowers local brands and upcoming brands, and that was a beautiful space. So being an alumni of Creative DNA 2.0 and being an alumni of Lagos Fashion Week Green Access Program, so it's helped us build a network, so to speak. So that has been there, and it's also very beautiful things for us.
All right. Sustainability being, of course, a very key component of your work there. Do you think the fashion sector has a role in playing in sustainable development, considering also because we just mentioned their HALT Prize winners for 2022, Ecobana, who are providing accessible and sustainable sanitary pads to school-going children. Next year, HALT Prize theme is redesigning fashion. And this is also a very sustainability-centered theme.
Yeah.
How does fashion come in sustainable development?
So I'll start with from an environmental perspective, in the sense that the creative sector, fashion to be specific, and from an Olisa perspective also, one of the reasons why we use crochet as our main medium is because crochet is a zero waste process. So there is little to no harm done to the environment while at it, and the yarns we use are also hand spun and hand dyed to just ensure that there is no harm, so to speak, goes to the environment. But from creative industry perspective, I'm one of those people who believe creative industry play a really important role in sustainable development. One, because we are largely inspired by tangible and intangible cultural capital. And no country can develop without evolving this cultural capital, so to speak. And there's also the angle of we play a role in preservation, just outside of economy. We're talking about documentation and general knowledge, putting it out there. You can do that without the creative industries, be it film, be it music, be it fashion, because half of it is informed by the lived realities we have at the moment. Yeah.
All right, that's actually a very technical answer, but I think very apt and relevant for us to be contemplating. Especially, I like the aspect of culture. Using fashion as also a means to document our culture, because even the knitting is something that we've picked up from our grandmothers. Yeah, so I'm really glad to see that. Pricing. Let's talk the big math. How much does it cost to get something from Olisa, and from what is the range of products I can get from Olisa?
At the moment, we have resort wear, which is mostly for women, and then we also have sweaters. So we have sweaters, dresses, bikinis, and the whole shebang, a whole line. And our prices range somewhere between 8,500 to 49,000 shillings. Yes.
So for 8,500, what do I get? And for 49,000?
You ideally get a cropped sweater. Yes, as a woman.
49,000 is your signature. I'm guessing that's your signature product. What is that?
Not really. 49,000. It's actually a dress. So it's a long dress, and anything maxi, anything that is made from perhaps silk and whatnot. Because normally it also depends on how long it takes and the kind of material we use for it. So there's that as well.
Okay. I'm being told here it's 9:56 in the morning and the show ends at 10 a.m. Looks like we're going to close the show with you just right about now. But just a final word to people who want to get access to products from Olisa Kenya, where they can go through to get to you, what the process looks like. Do you get to take their measurements and stuff like that? How do they make the orders?
So at the moment, most of our products are bespoke, which means they're tailor-made. So there's also that angle. So ideally, a client reaches out and then we work on the product. However, they're also ready to wear pieces that are now available on array.shop. So that is also, you can also find us there and shop your ready-to-wear Olisa items.
All right. I want you to think of a closing remark if you were a co-host of mine, and then we are going to do that in a while. But thank you very much, guys. That was Olisa. That was Akoth Otieno, the founder and CEO, rightfully so, of Olisa Kenya. You can get to see her crochet knit wear brand and get to access some of those products. Very amazing to see her work there on display at the Lagos Fashion Week, and also a part of the Creative DNA 2.0. Here from me, I've been very happy to interact with you guys online. I couldn't mention all your names, of course. Maybe just roughly: Derek Meli, Chenwach, I see Adrian Koech, Seneti, I am Mitambo, Atsi Ateta, Anthony Onamu. Thank you guys for tuning in on Twitter and also on the live stream that has been happening. From me and my whole team, today I'll just mention them quickly. On the camera has been Elvis Mudamba, Martha Ojuki. On the gallery, we have Angela Silayo, Kelvin Wafula, Joan Okumu, who's the assistant producer. She said I have to mention that. On the transmission is Jovial Dickens, Ochieng Omondi, and Major Minor, Major Minor, and the social media has been Ernest Onyango, Zaina Abu, and also from my producer and director, the able, the amazing Ryan Ngure, and myself as the host. It's been lovely having you. Until next week, if you want to have breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. Or Lisa, Akoth, you'll have the last word.
Okay, nice one. So I think ideally my closing remark would be your story matters, and your voice actually does matter, and it's an important part of the whole ecosystem. So it is important that you actually put your ideas, your stories, take that leap, put your ideas out there. Yeah.
All right. See you next